Hello and welcome to my channel, your go-to source for the latest in USA Gossip 24. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for all the updates. Let's dive right in.
Ryan Seacrest has everything going for him: looks, personality, and a busy career. But a wife, or husband, we don't judge, is the one thing he hasn't been able to lock down. The American Idol host, 51, has had several public relationships over the years but never married. Keep reading to find out what's holding him back. Multiple failed relationships. Early in his career, Ryan Seacrest was in a relationship with Shauna Wall. The relationship ended as his star was starting to rise. The American Idol host had a very public romance with Dancing with the Stars' Julian Huff. They dated from 2010 to 2013. There was constant speculation throughout their relationship that they would get engaged and married, but it never happened. The Wheel of Fortune host had an on and off relationship with Shayna Taylor for several years after he split from Julian Huff. Ryan Seacrest's most recent relationship ended in 2024. He began dating Aubrey Page in 2021, but they broke up after 3 years together. Despite the very public splits, Ryan Seacrest remained friends with several of his exes. He went on a sweet Valentine's date with his mom earlier this year after the death of his father in 2025. Ryan Seacrest reveals what's holding him back from marriage. No one knows why Ryan Seacrest's relationships continue to fail. It could be his insanely busy schedule. When he's not hosting American Idol or Wheel of Fortune, he's recording his radio show. He opened up during a recent discussion on Air with Ryan Seacrest about one factor holding him back from marriage: money. Ryan Seacrest's net worth is estimated to be $500 million. But he doesn't believe in spending a ton of money on engagement rings. He debated with his co-host Suzanne Villaclara whether pricey engagement rings are worth it. Average cost of an engagement ring in the U.S. $10,000. Think about what you could do with your partner for $10,000, he said. Ryan Seacrest thinks that money would be better spent on a luxurious vacation together or a fun adventure. While Ryan Seacrest refuses to drop a large sum of cash on an engagement ring, he still hopes to marry someday. I honestly think, and I'm going to say this, because when I meet my human, and it's that time, we're going to have experiences together. We're going to focus on building our bond, doing things together, he told his co-host. I honestly think, and I'm going to say this, because when I meet my human, and it's that time, we're going to have experiences together. We're going to focus on building our bond, doing things together, he added. Perhaps his previous girlfriends didn't agree with his stance on engagement rings and ended things. Ryan Seacrest doesn't have a wife, but he has a partner, at least for now. He's good friends with his Wheel of Fortune co-host, Vanna White. Tell us in the comments if you think marriage is in the cards for the American Idol host. Ryan Seacrest has once again found himself at the center of public curiosity after opening up about his personal life, specifically why marriage still hasn't happened for him. The longtime television and radio powerhouse, known for hosting everything from American Idol to major live broadcasts and entertainment specials, recently reflected on his relationship journey and admitted that there are deeper reasons behind his hesitation to walk down the aisle. And as expected, his honest comments have sparked widespread conversation among fans who have followed his career and his dating life for decades. A rarely candid look behind the spotlight. For someone who has spent most of his adult life in front of cameras, Seacrest has always been relatively private when it comes to romance. While his professional schedule has been an open book, packed with hosting gigs, red carpet coverage, and production duties, his personal life has often been more carefully guarded. In his recent reflection, Seacrest suggested that marriage hasn't happened not because of a lack of desire, but because of timing, priorities, and the overwhelming pace of his career. He admitted that maintaining balance has always been a challenge, especially when work demands never seem to slow down. I've always been working, he reportedly shared in essence, explaining that his career often takes precedence even when he tries to focus on personal commitments. That simple truth, however, carries a much deeper weight for someone whose life has been built on constant motion. The pressure of a non-stop career. Seacrest's schedule is famously intense. Between hosting live television, producing shows, managing radio duties, and overseeing business ventures, his calendar has rarely had empty space. That kind of lifestyle doesn't just make dating difficult, it makes sustaining long-term planning even harder. Insiders and fans alike have often speculated that his professional success, while extraordinary, has also created an invisible barrier to settling down. When every day is structured around deadlines, live broadcasts, and production meetings, personal milestones can unintentionally get pushed to the side. Seacrest acknowledged that reality in a reflective tone, suggesting that he sometimes wonders how different things might have been if he had slowed down earlier in life. But at the same time, he made it clear that he doesn't regret his journey. Love in the public eye. Another factor Seacrest has quietly battled is the difficulty of maintaining relationships under public scrutiny. Dating as a high-profile television personality means every appearance, every rumor, and every breakup becomes headline material. Over the years, Seacrest has been linked to several well-known figures, but none of those relationships ultimately led to marriage. Friends close to him have often noted that the pressure of media attention can add strain even to the strongest connections. When your life is constantly being analyzed by fans and tabloids, privacy becomes a rare luxury. And for Seacrest, that lack of privacy may have played a significant role in his cautious approach toward long-term commitment. A shift in perspective with age. Now in a more reflective stage of life, Seacrest appears to be thinking differently about what fulfillment means. While his younger years were driven by ambition and building a media empire, his current outlook seems more centered on balance and emotional grounding. He has hinted that he is more open to the idea of marriage than ever before, but only if it fits naturally into a life that already feels full. Rather than rushing into a major commitment, he seems focused on ensuring that the foundation is stable. That shift in perspective resonates with many fans who see him not just as a celebrity, but as someone navigating the same questions of timing, purpose, and connection that many people face in their own lives. The challenge of perfect timing. One of the most revealing parts of Seacrest's reflection is the idea that there may never be a perfect time for marriage. In an industry where opportunities come and go quickly, waiting for ideal conditions can sometimes mean waiting indefinitely. Seacrest's honesty about this dilemma has struck a chord. It highlights a universal truth. Life rarely slows down enough to make big decisions feel easy. Instead, people often have to choose between continuing on their current path or making space for something new and uncertain. For Seacrest, that balance between stability and spontaneity has been a recurring theme. Fans react with support and curiosity. As news of his comments spread, fans quickly shared their reactions online. Many express admiration for his honesty, noting that it's refreshing to hear a celebrity openly acknowledge the complexities behind personal decisions. Others speculated about whether a future marriage is still on the horizon. Given his long history in the entertainment industry and his reputation as one of television's most eligible bachelors, curiosity around his romantic future remains high. Still, the dominant sentiment from fans seems to be support rather than pressure. Many have emphasized that Seacrest has already built a remarkable life and career, whether or not marriage becomes part of it. A life defined by more than romance. While the conversation around his relationship status continues, it's important to remember just how expansive Seacrest's career truly is. From shaping modern reality television culture to anchoring some of the most watched live broadcasts in America, his influence in entertainment is undeniable. He has also become a familiar face in daytime television, co-hosting major programs and maintaining a consistent presence in pop culture discussions. More recently, his involvement in high-profile hosting roles, such as his addition to the iconic game show landscape through Wheel of Fortune, has only reinforced his status as a television mainstay. With so many responsibilities and opportunities, it's easy to see how personal milestones may have taken a different path than expected. What comes next? Looking ahead, Seacrest's comments suggest not closure, but openness. He doesn't appear to be shutting the door on marriage. Rather, he is acknowledging why it hasn't happened yet and leaving room for the future to unfold naturally. That perspective feels grounded especially for someone who has lived most of his adult life under constant public attention. Instead of framing marriage as something he missed, he frames it as something that simply hasn't aligned yet. And that distinction matters. Final thoughts. Ryan Seacrest's reflection on marriage is less about regret and more about reality. It's about the tension between ambition and intimacy, between public success and private fulfillment, and between timing and choice. In sharing his thoughts, he offers a rare glimpse behind the polished image of a media icon. At the heart of it all is a simple truth. Even for someone who seems to have everything, life's biggest questions don't always follow a schedule. Whether marriage is still ahead for him remains to be seen. But for now, Seacrest appears content continuing his journey, one shaped not only by career milestones, but by the ongoing search for balance, meaning, and the right moment when everything finally aligns.